Hiya, it's Dave here. Sorry it's been a little while since I did a video last, but I've been working down the woods a lot over the last month or two, setting up the new venue for wild geese, which is a field archery club. So it's been a good time now to test some of the knives that me and my friends have got. I've been doing a lot of chopping in the woods, a lot of work in the woods with our knives. So what I'm going to do today is talk through some of the things we've learned about our knives, good and bad. Take you through those. I'm not an expert with metals or anything like that, so don't expect me to give you any advice on or tell you any technical advice about these knives. But what I can do is tell you from experience, working with these knives down in the woods on a daily basis, anything from chopping wood to fine work, how they've performed and what we all think of them. So let's get started. Right, the sun's gone down a bit now, so we're going to carry on because there was a bit of shine coming off my head earlier. Anyhow, I'm going to go for the monster knife first. Kershaw Camp 18. Called Camp 18 because it's a camp knife, and I think the blade's 18 inches long. What a monster this knife is. To get out the sheath, just unclip that and it pulls out. Real nice sheath, can be strapped nicely to a backpack, things like that. Not too practical for wearing, let's face it, off your belt. But what a knife! I've had a Gerber machete before, and this is no comparison. This is far better, much thicker. Came well oiled. This, believe it or not, was the sharpest knife out of the box. This is sharp enough that you can shave the hairs off your arms with ease. So, you know, that is some knife. Fantastic grip, you know, really comfy in the hand. Obviously I put a lanyard on because I don't want to drop this thing while I'm chopping. But real nice knife. Problems, you can probably see one problem with it. For everyday use, it's not a practical size. Been using this for clearing branches off trees and things like that. To be honest, doesn't perform as well as an axe. So if I had to take this or an axe, I'd take an axe any day. But don't let me take away how good a knife this is, and a relatively reasonable knife, I believe, for the price as well. So I'm going to put that one aside. Then we've got probably what is an all-time favourite, BK&T. See, I've got a few little mods that I've put on this because I do archery. I've added this to it, which is a whistle for emergencies, and also got a fire striker on there as well. So just put that on with Velcro. Comes in handy. Got a bit of paracord around it as well. As for the knife itself, pretty much a monster of a knife. You can probably see there the thickness of the blade on this thing. This is a pretty substantial knife. Never going to let you down in terms of how durable this knife is. A couple of things with it though. What I find is, because I do archery, and because sometimes you're digging arrows out of trees, this actually, the tip on it is too blunt. It's not actually a particularly good knife for getting in things and prizing. So, and also, if you want to do some delicate work, this is probably not the knife for some delicate work. Ergonomic to just grip and chop with, but when it comes to doing a bit of close-up work, it doesn't feel particularly useful from that point of view. As far as the sheath goes, I thought it was a great sheath at first, but then I started finding some issues with it. When you sat around the campfire, the thing is, some of these sheaths designed to be great when you're wearing them on your belt and walking around, but let's face it, you're still going to be wearing it on an evening around the campfire. And what I found is some of these joints here start to tear, and this particular one, this gave way and actually popped right through off the knife one night as well, and tore the back sheath here. So probably when I get round to it, I wanted to put another washer in there to do a bit more repair. But you know, it's knife goes, it won't let you down, but it's not particularly great for detailed work. So what I found myself doing is buying a second knife for more detailed work. and that's this one, the Mora Black Bushcraft knife. Really nice knife, really nice ergonomic grip. It feels nice and grippy in your hand. It's got the grips on there, so when you've got your thumb and you're doing some detailed work, it's spot on for that. Downside to this is you can't put it through the punishment with regards to chopping and that you would with the other knife. So use the two combined and you've got a great bushcraft knife, but each one has its limitations. Then I'm going to go on to, this is the next knife I bought myself, and to be honest, this knife was only about £45, so probably about half the price of the BK7. So I got this for everyday use and archery. What a knife this has turned out to be, what a surprise it's turned out to be. Firstly, the sheath. What I've found is I much prefer wearing the knife upside down like that. Much more nice and secure, always walking around the woods like that, but it stops it getting in the way. So hence I put the lanyard on so you can take it out quick. Easily to clip out. Nice thick blade, so nice durable blade. What I find is, although the tip, it's got a great tip, but it's a strong tip as well. So when you're prying, that tip works out to be great. Again, ergonomics, thumb on there, you can do detailed work, getting better than you can with the BK. So lovely knife, perfect size grip for my hands. What was perhaps the biggest surprise with this is for chopping. I wasn't expecting this blade to be much good for chopping, but I gave it a go last week. I can't remember what I was chopping now, but this turned out to be great. All I would say is the scales have come loose a tiny bit, but I can just fasten those up. So this has been a really good surprise. Real good knife, that, and surprisingly good for your bushcraft chores and that as well. Then got my friend's knife, Matt, who's behind the camera, on the camera at the moment. He treated himself a couple of weeks ago to this new Gerber knife, and this is the Pro knife, so this is the top of the range Bear Grylls knife. At first, I must admit, I said to him I was a bit sceptical because it's got, you know, you've got various things on like the fire striker and stuff like that. I wasn't too convinced by that, but tell you what, this has been full of surprises. So let's get the little unusual functionality out of the way first. Oh, well, you can see that's pretty secure. Oh, there we go. So you're not going to lose that in a hurry, but there's your fire striker to begin with. It does work because we started the fire this morning with it. Then on the back, just here, you've got a built-in knife sharpener into the sheath as well. So great little feature. So you see Matt sharpening his knife at the end of the day, which he's already done plenty of. And I know he's put this over the last couple of weeks through some pretty good wear and tear. This is quite rigid as well, so unlike the BK7, this isn't going to give like that one as much and isn't going to bend, and again it's stitched on, so it hasn't got anything to come loose. You've got a little feature there where you've got Bear Grylls survival guide in there as well. A nice little feature. But let's talk about the knife itself. Superb knife, grip in your hand, very nice. Let's start as well. Very nice balance. Grip in your hand is fantastic. You want to do detailed work, you can move forward. You've got the grip there as well, so you can get in there and do detailed work. The other thing is, it's a full tang blade, and this is a thick blade, full tang blade, and this pummel on the back here, you can see there. You could bang nails in with this thing, and it would be fine. The other thing is, it's got the holes in there if you want to lash it to a stick and use it as a spear or something like that. And it's also got a little bit here that's obviously where you've got the coating. It's been removed, and again that's to work with the fire striker. But this, you know, seeing Matt use this has been a surprise to everyone. I think how good this knife is. So, put that on the side. So, the last knife, this is a Spyderco. This is my new knife. So I've had Spydercos in the past, the folders, and I know how good they are. This is the Schempp Rock. What a knife this looks. Not quite as thick a blade as some of the others, but I know the steel that Spyderco make the knives from is second to none. I've put my folder from them through more torture than some people put their fixed blades from, and it's come out better. So I've got high hopes for this. But why I went for this one? Well, as I mentioned earlier, With the BK7 and the Mora, I was trying to get two things. I had to get two knives to do all the things that I wanted. With this one, I think this one's going to perform and replace both of those together. So what you've got first is obviously the shape of the blade, much more ergonomic. You've got the weight forward a bit, so for chopping, should make an excellent chopper, and it's a good size as well. As you can see from the photos, it's a longer knife. But because it's a touch lighter and it's just thinner, you can get in and you can do a lot more detailed work as well. If you look at the design here, you've got the option to do work like that, and you've got the option to bring your thumb forward and do some nice detailed work in that little bit there. And this is a very sharp knife as well, by the way. So the other thing that I like about this knife is it's not going to rust. So that seems to be a good knife. And as far as the sheath goes, you can see there I've put a little bit of a sharpening stone on it. But the thing that I like about this is, again, I can wear it upside down, and this knife is secure enough, just clicks in place. I can fix it to my belt upside down as well. So whichever way up you want it. But what I like, again, it's nice and thin, this one. It's not bulky, so it sits nice and tight to your side as well. So doesn't seem to be as cumbersome as the others. So as far as my recommendations, the knives that we like, one, I've been using this one just today, so it's not been through as much wear and tear as the others, but this one's a nice knife to live with. You've got the Grylls Pro knife. So, like I say, this is the top of the range one of them. Matt's been putting this through some tough work over the last few weeks, and this has proved to be a really good knife, a beautifully balanced knife as well. And then perhaps the surprise, the Schrade F11 as well. This is kind of, it's been me everyday carry, it's been me everyday using knife when it comes to the woodland and archery and a bit of bushcraft as well. So, and it's probably the cheapest knife out of a lot of them as well, I think about £45. So it's a no fuss, simple knife. So don't get me wrong, it's still a fantastic knife, but it's got its limitations, so be aware of that. Depends what you want to do, whether it's heavy chopping or fine work. And again, that one's an excellent knife, but it's the opposite. It's not so good for chopping, hasn't got the weight, but for fine detailed work, this is a spot on knife. All great knives, but that's just my personal recommendations. Okay, thanks very much for watching. Hope this has been useful. Bye.